Hi, this is Carol Wisely with Radio Free Decipher, coming to you in the post-Floyd cleanup in Norfolk and Virginia Beach. Hurricane Floyd actually, for us, was a little bit of a non-event, although I feel for the people in North Carolina and some areas of Virginia Beach and inland, and certainly on the peninsula, who suffered badly with flooding and some damage. But we were fairly lucky. But of course, we've not been here for a day or two, and we did batten down the hatches at Decipher, so a lot of cleanup today. I think our website managed to stay up and running the entire time. We were glad about that. We had no power outages at the office. So we were here, but not here, if you understand what I mean. Anyway, it's back to work this morning, and we've taken the plywood down from the windows, and I've found Sandy Wible up on the top floor and dragged him down to the microphone because it's an awful long time since I interviewed Sandy. And Sandy, just explain to everybody out there who you are and your sort of career path at Decipher, because it's changed, I know.
Yeah, well, I started off as rebel-based leader way back when, and since then I've been doing more and more production, working with laying out all of our products, Star Trek, Star Wars, as well as Austin Powers, and everything else we do. And we've moved on from that, from the email type stuff, into more of dealing with desktop publishing, as well as actually going down to PBM, which is our printer, doing things like that.
That's cool. Sandy now, I know, is very involved in production, so he's a good guy for the marketing guys to get hold of, because he can sort of tell us roughly where things are in the schedule. And of course, the next product that we're all waiting with bated breath for is Jedi Council. I believe we're about 3 or 4 weeks away from that. Would you think that was a fair estimate?
It'll be somewhere around in there. We really don't like to give out schedules at this point because we really don't know. I mean, at one point, I think it was Hoth, of all sets, was delayed by a snowstorm. That was back when we were
I remember
packaging
that.
in the Dakotas. So, there are all kinds of things that can really go wrong and delay a product. So it is going to be somewhere around in there. A month, maybe 5 weeks at the most.
Have you seen it?
The actual cards?
Yeah.
No, I mean, seen them virtually.
Seen them on screen, but not seen them printed. Well, I've certainly seen a couple of testing sheets, and I was really impressed with some of the images. I think I told people last week that my favorite image so far that I've seen is one of the 2 new Darth Mauls, and I was very, very impressed with that. Do you have a particular favorite?
Not really. I like a lot of the different cards, but then I have more of a gameplay angle, perhaps. But the images are always great. Our department really does a wonderful job.
They certainly do. Tell me what kind of Young Jedi deck you play.
Right now, my good deck is a whole bunch of Gungans with their weapons. It's actually done very well for me. Dark side, I've got a pod racer deck, so I'm really looking forward to Jedi Council because I can get a dark side pod race arena, which is really going to help that deck.
So you still play pod races. I'll have to play up against you with my battle droid deck, which is getting a little old and tired now, and I can't decide whether to invest in changing it before Jedi Council or just to wait till Jedi Council comes along and scrap the whole thing. But I believe there's some tournaments this weekend at the beach, so I'm going to be playing in some of those, I think. So what else are you working on? Which other projects?
Austin Powers mostly right now. We're doing a couple of other little things for Star Trek and Star Wars.
Now that would be Enhanced Cloud City for Star Wars?
Enhanced Cloud City, and for Star Trek, the
second anthology?
Yes.
Good, so you've been working on those.
And pretty soon coming up will be Star Trek Rules of Acquisition.
That's our next big set. We're excited about that. Right. And Enhanced Jabba's Palace, I think, for Star Wars coming sometime after Enhanced Cloud City, because those 2 products dovetail well together.
Right.
Jabba's Palace and Cloud City always work well together, I hear.
Right.
So you've seen the cards for Cloud City, I guess? Yes.
We haven't received our test print back yet, but I've seen them on the screen, of course. So.
They're looking good?
Oh, yeah. Very good cards.
Yeah. Are you a foil collector?
To some extent. I like to collect them. I haven't really started collecting yet for Blaze of Glory, but I want to.
Yeah,
I've always been more of a Trek collector than...
Oh, really? Yeah. But you've always been more of a Wars player, haven't you?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I started off as a Star Trek player back 4 or 5 years ago. Played a lot, and then back when I was Rebel Base Leader, I played more Star Wars, and now I've gotten back, so I'm really kind of in between.
Okay, okay. How long were you Rebel Base Leader?
Was it a year and a half? Maybe 2 years.
How many people have done that now? We've had a number of people. I think the first ever was Tom Brownlick. Used to do, I don't think he was called Rebel Base Leader. He's the Answer Man.
Right.
And then Jerry.
Right.
And then
Jerry
Bill.
Right. Well, Bill was more Star Trek.
Right.
I don't think he ever answered Star Wars questions.
And then you came next, I think.
Right. And I was the first actual Jedi Master. Jerry was the Jedi Man. Back on America Online.
Right.
And we still have that account. No one really uses it anymore. And then I was the first Rebel Base Leader, working with Jonathan. He was on the road.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then Tom came in.
And then Tom Lischke, and then Jonathan again for a while was Rebel Base Leader, and now, of course, it's our Australian friends. So it's been quite a long list of Rebel Base Leaders. Whereas the Trek thing has changed names virtually every time. We don't seem to have a continuous name for the Trek Answer guy. So.
Right.
Good. So what else is coming up in the future? Tell me about Austin Powers. Have you seen the cards?
I've seen the playtest cards. We're actually working on the templates right now. We're just about done with them. They expected to get all of the images in yesterday. Of course, I'm sure
the hurricane,
that delayed the planes coming in. So hopefully the art department will get those today. I have a script which automates the process and creates this, using the Photoshop master file, creates for every single card running off of a spreadsheet in Excel, creates a individual Photoshop file for every single card.
Wow.
So I just start that and it runs and creates all the cards, and then all the art department has to do is take the images, clean them up, crop them correctly, the normal things they do, and put those in those individual files. And
then you work the layout out?
That's right. And mostly what I do is in Quark, which is the desktop publishing program. But I'll take the Photoshop files. Sometimes I work in Photoshop as well, but I don't actually work on the images. Just more of what I do is fix icons and that kind of thing. And then I'll take those, work with the text that product development has done, and work in Quark, lay out all the cards on a big master sheet. And that's the way it works for all of our products. We have big sheets. Sometimes they're 11 by 11 cards, so they're, 4 feet tall by 3 feet
wide.
Right. And there will be duplicates of almost all the cards on there because, for example, if we have a common sheet, there usually aren't 121 common cards. There may be 40 or 50.
Right.
So there'll be 2 or 3 of each card on the sheet, and they're all mixed up.
And are the commonalities always exactly the same? Are there always exactly the same number of repeats of every common card? Or do we sometimes have common cards that are less common than others?
Well, all the commons will be the same rarity as each other.
Right.
Sometimes because there's that odd card, like the 121st card, we'll take one card that we think people might want more of and put it on there 4 times instead of 3 times. We haven't done that recently, and usually when we do it, we'll announce it to people. And we haven't done it with rare cards since, Alternate Universe, I think.
Well, that was the Future Enterprise. Was that the 121st card then, or?
Yes, that was how the Future Enterprise came out to be. What is it?
Ultra rare, we call it. Yeah.
1/3 the rarity.
Yes, because it was only on the sheet once.
Right.
And we haven't done that since with a rare.
No.
Now, of course, the foils have a very different rarity. Do you also work that out?
Yes. The way we do the rarity with the foils is we just have one sheet, but we actually mix up how many times the cards appear on that sheet. So that's how we can get 4 of one card and 2 of another, because it'll just appear on the sheet 4 times and the other card will be on there twice.
So we have 3 levels of rarity for foils, don't we?
Right. That's what we've done so far. We can actually do anything. But that's a good way to achieve an economy in the production and make it really economical to do the foils, because otherwise if we were doing 3 different sheets it would be really expensive to do that. So,
now how about the Anakin and Sebulba foils? Have you seen those?
Yep, they look very nice.
Do you know when they're going to be in? Because I know a lot of people have sent their points in and we're just waiting for the cards now.
They should be in very, very soon.
Good.
I know they've gone off. The foils are printed at a different place. They're printed in Minnesota, whereas all our other cards are printed in North Carolina now. So they've gone up there in Minnesota, and they should be back very soon.
Good. Well, the Anakin foil, I know there's a lot of people waiting out there, sent their boxes and packages of foils of points that come in every day. And of course, the Bulba we're going to be giving away as tournament prizes, and we're going to find many other ways to give away the Bulba too, because you know, we want to get him out there. But Anakin, for the time being, is going to be only available through points. We might use Anakin as a prize at very, very special events, because you know, that's going to be a great foil to own. I understand he's already being pre-sold on eBay, and I also understand people are selling their points on eBay as well, which is interesting. And of course, in the recent Sean Valdez auction, which finished very, very successfully last Monday, I believe when we add everything up and we get all the money, and we're probably going to beat last year's total.
Oh, that's great.
Last year I think we did 21,000, and I think we might just go over that this year. But we did auction one set of every uncut sheets that we've ever done. So there's a lot. Those went for very high prices. Yeah. So it's good to see that, you know, people are actually going to get to see these at long last.
Right.
So I'm glad about that. Okay, well, thanks for talking with us, Sandy. I don't think I have any news for the rest of the world. It's been a strange week with the office being closed nearly half the week because of preparations for and the duration of Floyd. So we'll try and get some more news up for you. And if you look on the web over the next week, you should begin to see some details about Jedi Council, which we're all very excited about. Thanks.